Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the next episode of Colony Survival. It is a truly tragic day today. The sun shines grey upon the land as the beautiful colony of Satony has fallen. Now, guys, I did not play on this world while I was off camera. I decided I was just not going to do that. I was going to record every bit of it in case there was anything funny that happens, like that one zombie who spawned on top of this banner or whatever. I still don't know how that happened, but anyway, we're in a new version of the game, and in single player we can see that if we go to load world, Satony now requires an older version. So while I could go back to it, this new version is, better. I like it a lot more, and I'd like to load a new world that we can play on to show off the new features and, a new world, essentially. So I am going to load a new one, and I'm going to try to get back to the point at which we were when Satony fell. In lore, we're going to say that Satony never fell, but instead a terrible hurricane hit the colony, as it was on an island, and all of its inhabitants, well, the survivors anyway, had to move inland because they were scared of another hurricane from the gods. So that's what we're going to be doing, guys, and I'll see you when we've gotten back to after wheat production, I guess. I am going to record a few bits here and there. For example, me finding the best spot to put our colony. And also the fact that there's a new GUI. Apparently we have happiness now, which was something I mentioned in our first playthrough, but never really thought existed because it didn't exist in that playthrough. But we have it now, and there's a lot of items we can craft to increase happiness, and I'm guessing that the happier the colonists are, the better slaves they are. Here's the new recruitment settings. Click recruitment, and I'm guessing colonists require 2,000 calories a day and a bed. So yeah, it's no longer food, it's now called calories, which is a bit more confusing, but it still works the same way. It looks like recruiting the next colonist costs 8,000 calories, so it does have a kind of gradual increase. Interesting. Cost is 50% of normal cost due to happiness. I see. So if they're really happy, they also cost less food to keep up. That's interesting. Oh my goodness, look at all this food. Wow. There's a lot of new stuff in this game. The guards are still the same, it looks like. Miners, yeah, still operate the same. Foresters still operate the same, but the food, my. That looks the same. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here's another thing for you guys to be wary of. Bread production now requires a new technology called water gathering, so I'm guessing you're also going to need a water gatherer to help the bread grow, which is a little troublesome, considering that my colony is so far from any source of water. But yeah, that is something to think about when you're building your colony, guys. I really do have to figure out where I'm getting some water. I gotta hope that's a river over there. If it's not, we might be berry farmers for the rest of time. There we have it, folks. The first harvest of the wheat. And with that, the colony looks good. I've got the wall back up. I don't have the jaws of the beast set up yet, but I think I'm actually going to try something a little different with this colony. You see, when the hurricane came in our last colony, well, I mean, those waters were just full of zombies. And the zombies basically flooded down into the jaws of death, put out all the light, and it became like a spawning ground for zombies. And they just came up out of the earth, they came through the floor and killed a whole bunch of people. It was a really terrible occurrence. So we're not going to be doing any more of that. Instead, we're going to be looking to the skies for defense. Okay, guys, so far it's working pretty well. I built this giant bridge on the outside of the wall. It's all red, of course. The zombies could spawn on it, theoretically, but right now they're spawning pretty far away. I've got 2 guards at the only entrance to the wall, guarding it with their lives. Eventually I'm going to improve this area so the guards are a bit more protected if the zombies were to get over here. But for now, thing goes well. I also figured out how to sprint. Don't know if this is new, but you hold down shift and look, it can go so fast. Anyway, this is eventually going to be a cool tower, and it'll be really fun. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this, and not a more complicated thing, is because when all the colonists come out, and here's the thing I wanted to do, they all have to get to their crops, which I put outside the base. So I just, I kind of want to see if the zombies go after them, because I know it takes so long for the zombies to get on the bridge and through the tower. So, that zombie went right for the guards. Gotta be prepared to, like, spring into action if these zombies decide to just turn. Kill all the colonists. Nope, they seem pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty well-behaved zombies. Good job, guys. They're just like, hey, Joe. Hey, Dave. Oh, wait. Oh no, this one's going after them. Is he? No, he's going after me. Okay. Yeah, he's going after me. That's fine, then. But yeah, the colony's good. I added a few more wheat farmers. Let's just slap the zombie to death. It's going very well, I'd say. We're at that point again where we just gotta research the science as much as possible, upgrade the defenses, and make everything look pretty. Especially this bridge, because right now it looks a bit ugly. And after that, there you go. That's the game. Well, I don't necessarily think that's the entire game. I know that there's a lot of researches, especially these days, which really change the game. I mean, I see down here chicken farmer, fishermen. I don't know what the difference is yet, but there's a beekeeper, barley. There's a lot more to this game, so I'll be sure to bring you guys back for the more interesting things. Also, as a bit of an update, I had to create a well because we do need water for wheat, I believe. So here's the well I made. It is actually like an aqueduct from that river over there. Oh no. Oh. So anyway, as I was saying, I had to make an aqueduct system from that river to this well. And I'm about to show you guys it in a minute. It didn't take that long, but it was a bit of mining. Down here is the water. This guy, yeah, he's obviously collected more than enough water. But anyway, this aqueduct, I'm not going to swim along it because I realize how long that's going to take, goes all the way out to this nice little water collection area here. Alright everyone, it's been a bit of a while, but I've made some changes to the colony which were desperately needed. First, you guys will probably all notice that our happiness is now at -7. Now that's not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either. Only recently did I really learn what it means and how to fix it, so I'll try to explain it to you guys now. The happiness can be helped by happiness items or by lowering your colony's population. I could run around executing some people that I don't need, but a lot of the people I do need, and, they're good. They're good for producing happiness items, which can help the situation and prevent me from executing too many people. What they are just these little conveniences over here. The candles, the necklaces, the jewelry, food, they all have a happiness value. And on this menu, we can see all of our happiness criteria. Now, candles are in low supply. That's because I only recently researched them. This menu tells me that they're made in a beehive, so I assumed that these guys would make them as a byproduct of doing stuff. But no, they are their own item. And when you go to science, you see that you actually have to research them. Right here. So, it confused me for a while. I had not found this in the science menu, and my happiness was like so far in the negatives, I just could not figure out what to do. I couldn't recruit anymore because, as you can see, if you have more population, it goes down even further, so it was just a big mess for a while. I'm happy I didn't get that on camera, because that was rather embarrassing. Anyway, I added a second story to the hotel, and I filled the entire first story with beds. Delightful. Also, with the mention of candles, we now have bee farming. I'm sure these guys won't mind if I just trample all over these nice beehives everywhere, and honestly, they should really make some punishment for this. Like, you should take damage if you're standing on these, but They don't for now, so we'll just spend our time jumping all over them. But this is where the candles come from, and candles are so far my favorite source of happiness. Very easy, accessible, and everything. They do require crafting. These guys actually have to stop making bread and start making beeswax in order for it to happen. Yeah, you guys need to make more of that, to be sure. Along with that, we also have chicken farmers, which require barley, which we are out of. Except for this guy. I don't know where his source is coming from, but I guess he has a secret stash somewhere. 2 barley farms, which actually have the same sprites as wheat, as far as I can tell, so it's kind of hard to tell, but those are barley farmers. It's because they're wearing different clothing from the wheat farmers, that's how you can tell. But then I added a few more wheat farms as well. And down here, I've also discovered that these guys are a necessity, so the colonists don't have to walk all the way across the bridge and back into the colony to get to the first grocery store I placed, which is just right here. This is where they get their food. It's like the new system. They don't magically take it out of the crates anymore. They actually have to get it from one of these vendors. And it's also where they get the happiness items, which is great. Oh yeah, and those aren't normal trees. They're olive trees. Very special and magical trees. As you can see, this guy is just kind of standing by them, and he's magically getting olives. The last new thing I noticed was that bronze arrows no longer just require planks and bronze ingots. They also require feathers, which is why we are completely out of feathers, or will soon be, as soon as we get some more. I'm sure those will just disappear. But yeah, you do need feathers, which means you need chicken farmers, which means you need barley, and it's a bit more complicated to get really overpowered defenses. But I also have some other bad news, guys. You see, our happiness isn't down solely because if you did the math in our happiness menu, we're technically in the negatives. No, it's down because an unrest is growing among my population. They seek revenge on Satony, the warriors who pushed them out into that terrible storm. They seek revenge on those who have defeated them in the past and exiled them to these terrible nightmare lands where they have to fight off the... I guess these are the people who were executed as well. It's even more terrifying now that you think about it. So, this is the last episode of my series, guys. We've grown a fair army. These guys are all ready to fight if need be. These 5 are just like the elite 5. But yeah, I don't know how it's gonna go, guys, but we have to reclaim our honor and our place in society. So, I'll see you all, I guess, if I survive. Assuming I don't sleep in again, which hopefully they'll at least be courteous enough to leave me an alarm clock.